You gotta love the offseason, especially if us Detroit Lions fans, usually that's all we look forward to. Mock drafts, free agency, how can we get this team better? But this one in particular, because the Detroit Lions finished the season 9-8 and have a huge opportunity to keep this success sustained depending on why or what they do this offseason. This offseason is huge, frankly. It's one of the biggest off seasons the Detroit Lions have had in a long time to keep this success sustained. We got mock drafts projecting the Lions to go from quarterback, some guys taking a running back, some of us got us taking tight end, some of us got us taking offensive lineman. You don't know what you're going to get out of these mock drafts, especially right now because we're so far away from the draft. We're so far away from the NFL Combine. We're so far away from free agency. But right now we're going to react to Mel Kipers' first mock draft of the offseason where he had the Detroit Lions taking Tyree Wilson, defensive end from Texas Tech, and then Christian Gonzalez, cornerback from Oregon. One Pride, what's going on? It's your boy, T. Back at it again with another episode of Talking with T. Let's get into it. Let's get after it, man. On this channel, we talk about Detroit sports and we chase down the best version of ourselves. If that interests you, do me a favor and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. It really helps this channel grow and get in the algorithm. And I really appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to rock with me, T. So let's dive right into this mock draft reaction, man. Mel Kiper, these are the mock drafts I really pay attention to. The NFL Network one, Daniel Jeremiah, Bucky Brooks, all these guys. And then you got the ESPN ones that you pay attention to is Mel Kiper and Todd McShay. These guys are the ones that know what they're talking about. If you go look at CBS's mock drafts, you go look at all these crazy mock drafts, they got a bunch of trades going that won't happen. They got a bunch of Lions taking a tight end at 6. They got Lions taking quarterback at 6, Lions trading up for a quarterback. These guys are the most realistic, and these are the ones you want to listen to the most because they have the most inside information. So let's dive into Mel Kiper's first mock draft. At pick 6, he says the Detroit Lions will select defensive end Tyree Wilson. This guy is long. This guy is a freaky athlete, 6'6", and it's not exactly what the Detroit Lions need, but you can never shy away from having so many pass rushers, especially when you got James Houston who came on at the end of the year. You don't know what you're going to get out of Josh Pascal yet, but he finished the year strong. Then you got Aiden Hutchinson, and then if you drafted Tyree Wilson, that front 7 would be very elite and it'd make the coverage in the back end way better. Adding Tyree Wilson with Aiden Hutchinson is just going to open up more one-on-one opportunities for Hutchinson, going to open up more one-on-one opportunities for James Houston, going to open up more one-on-one opportunities for Tyree Wilson, because Tyree Wilson, if you look at his tape from college, he's blowing through double teams, he's strong, he's got high motor. This is exactly what Detroit needs if they were to select him with the 6th pick overall. And then you got Josh Pascal, who you don't know what you're getting out of him yet. If you added another pass rusher, that's just elite, because then you got Romeo Cora. You got some decent pass rushers on your team if you were to select Tyree Wilson. And that's who you should draft. You should go defense first. You don't need a quarterback. We got Jared Goff. I already made a video on this a couple weeks ago, but I'm not falling in love with Will Levis. I'm not falling in love with Bryce Young, and I'm not falling in love with Anthony Richardson. The Detroit Lions are pieces away from competing for the division, for the conference title, for the Super Bowl. And quarterback is not the biggest position in need. I'm fully confident in Jared Goff. And then later in the draft, falling down in the draft to number 18, he's got the Detroit Lions selecting Christian Gonzalez, cornerback from the University of Oregon. He's 6'2", long, lengthy. If you check his tape out, he's got really good ball skills. He's cocky. I haven't seen much of him being physical, going to stop the run on his highlight tape, so that's something I want. I want a cornerback like Cam Smith who's going to go attack the run game, but they're all good. Joey Porter, I'm not mad with Christian Gonzalez. I want one of those corners. I want Emmanuel Mosley the most from, or Emmanuel Mobley, whatever, the cornerback out of Mississippi State. He's a ball hawk, and that's someone I want to add back there with Kirby Joseph. The biggest positions of need for the Detroit Lions right now is interior defensive line, linebacker, corner, right guard, and maybe another running back. Those are my biggest positions of need right now. And the reason I'm not taking it, if Jalen Carter somehow falls to us, there's no question in my mind you take Jalen Carter, because that's one of our biggest needs. You add him with Buggs and McNeil, that's going to be disruptive in the middle. But if we added a pass rusher, another pass rusher on the outside, wouldn't be mad about that. But interior defense line, the only one that I really could consider taking at 6 is Brian Breesy from Clemson, if he's there. or Jalen Carter if he somehow falls all the way down to us. I hope Will Anderson somehow falls all the way down to us, but you do not need a quarterback. Please do not reach on Anthony Richardson. He's going to be a project. We're not there yet to stash a quarterback away. I understand we need a backup quarterback, but draft one in the 4th or 5th round. Stetson Bennett. Some of these guys are still going to be there, and then you can develop them behind Jared Goff for the next few years. This is why you need to keep focusing on the defense. I'm glad Mel Kiper wasn't being crazy, trading up for the Lions to take a quarterback. His reason being that he says the Lions had Jared Goff, who had a decent year, and Brad Holmes is going to do his due diligence on Bryce Young, on Will Levis, on C.J. Stroud, on Anthony Richardson. But those are the 4 quarterbacks going, and there's a lot more hungry quarterback teams out there, and I'm sure they're going to trade up and try to get some of these quarterbacks. And if they trade up and try to get some of these quarterbacks, who knows what could happen for the Detroit Lions. We might be looking at Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. This is the first mock draft reaction. We're going to do more team needs. We're going to do more free agency talk. Stay tuned this offseason. 1 Pride, signing out. I'm so excited for the 2023 season.